You got someone who obviously, I'm sure that's not his real name, but hey, who am I to judge? I'll probably call BJ. Noxious D. Okay guys, let's hear from Noxious D, come on.
Right. That's basically my stage name when I rap. And this is my first time for the poetry night that I'm performing for.
Woo! Are you nervous? Are you nervous?
Right.
Good, you should be.
I don't know if I'm supposed to rap this out. I mean, this is
Rap it.
no, what happens is if I rap it out, it's gonna be like, you know, a little unclear and the flows and everything matters. And so I guess I'll just read it out. My poetry is basically a verse from one of my songs based on domestic violence. And this is basically a story of a nephew and his conversation with his uncle when his mother is admitted in the hospital who was subjected to domestic violence. She was beaten and she was, you know, in hospital admitted. So this is basically the child asking his uncle like what happened so bad that, you know, his mother had to end up in the hospital. So his uncle is like, he often came home drunk from his head high, grinning and whining over issues that he has never despised. Making his best choice the worst, the one marrying your mother, making her do shit so that she'd always suffer. Your mother suffered just because she made her own butter, and also because her income made your insecure daddy to wonder. As if what he did for them was so insufficient, insecurity killed your old man's way of thinking. Since then, he made it a point to make her stop to earn, beat her and cut her back, and she would often be burned. A bruised body she lived in, her heart bled internally. He thought he was through to overcome his insecurity. But now, as if it became a habit, he started to continue. In-laws didn't like her, plus she was even abused, just because she didn't give her dowry when she had gotten married. And right then, this whole episode of violence has started. Your father took her to her room and pushed her down to the bed, tied her hands and taped her mouth. Your brother couldn't even say. She was bleeding and pleading for forgiveness from your dad. She lost everything with the self-respect that she had. So what was left now, she was raped by her brother-in-law. Right in front of your daddy's eyes, he just stood there and saw how she would cry and try to get out of the mess she was in. Just a minute later to rape, she stopped moving. In an illusion that she died, confused what to do next. Blaming her provocative dressing, but not the urge to have sex. I know it surprised me to see someone like your dad become the devil. Such an awkward situation to see Satan ruling in heaven. Such was the monogamy when love was only a word. Look how horrifying is the story, but even if I shout it out loud, it won't be heard. Because you know that the other side of you, where love. Such was the story of the unheard, unseen, who is struggling to live in. In this world, because what happened was she had gone into a coma. 4 years later, still struggling, there was no one to hold her. Nobody to rebel for her there was no justice to be won. Because in the end you're subjected to, you can't undo what has already been done.